evening, and thank you for tuning into Halton News. It's Tuesday, June 16th, and I'm Jessica Kading. There's been one more active case reported in Halton since yesterday, bringing our grand total of current COVID-19 cases to 102. Two more people recovered since yesterday as well. Breaking it down by municipality, Burlington has 28 active cases, Oakville 34, Milton 30, and Halton Hills currently has 10 active cases. The region has now taken this a step further and broken it down for us by neighborhood. While it may be a bit hard to identify your neighborhood using this map, you can find it on halton.ca to take a better look. The neighborhoods in light green have the lowest rates of COVID-19, followed by the medium green color, and then the neighborhoods colored with the darkest green have the highest recorded rates. Those areas include West Milton and North Central Oakville. Regardless of which neighborhood you live in, the entire region will enter Phase 2 this Friday. We spoke with Oakville's Mayor Burton and asked what he has to say to those who are uncertain about taking this next step.
We went into these restrictions 3 months ago, being told that we needed to do them in order to win a race against time to build up our healthcare capacity so that we could face the virus. And over the last 3 months, the people of Oakville and of Halton have done an astonishingly good job of flattening the curve. There are charts in today's Toronto Star that show just how amazingly flat Halton is compared to everybody else. Like, I read that and I thought, there's nobody better. And in that same time, Halton Healthcare Services built up their capacity to handle COVID massively in all three Halton Healthcare hospitals in Georgetown, Milton, and Oakville. And I'm aware that over in Burlington at Joe Brandt Hospital, they built a field hospital beside the hospital. So, and by the way, Oakville Trafalgar Memorial Hospital built a bigger field hospital on an unused floor that was built for future capacity. So we are rolling in capacity here and we are ready. So the original proposition was we have to have the restrictions in order to win the race against time to get the capacity. Got the capacity, we won the race. Now it's time to face the virus. And knowing that we have the healthcare capacity to take care of ourselves. When you look around the world at the really horrible places, they didn't flatten, they overwhelmed their healthcare systems and couldn't take care of people, and thus they died. We've had very low death rate. I publish our death rates in all of Halton, Oakville, Burlington, Milton, Halton Hills, every night in my newsletter. And you can sign up for my nightly newsletter by emailing mayor@oakville.ca. Lots of useful information in it about what's going on. And so what do you do if you're worried about COVID and you'd like to put off your encounter with the virus? I'm saying that you practice the 3 C's of COVID caution to put off your encounter with the virus. Number 1, avoid crowds. Number 2, avoid close contact with other people. And if you can't avoid close contact with other people, wear a mask when you're within 6 feet of people. And number 3, avoid confined spaces. You want well-ventilated spaces. So those are the 3 C's of COVID caution, and they will help you stay healthy and safe and well. But 80% of the population don't have a worse experience than a bad cold. 15% have a bad flu, and 5% need medical attention. And we now have the capacity to provide that. So we won the race. It's really good news because the alternative, if you didn't win the race, it'd be hell on earth.
I also asked how quickly we can expect town-run facilities that are allowed to reopen on Friday to actually resume operation.
What we've been doing is we've been in a ready stance ever since the 19th of May, when the Premier began lifting restrictions. And so as part of being in a ready stance, we research avidly and energetically the best practices and the best standards and guidelines for safety, not just in Canada, not just close to home, but around the world. And then we prepare assuming that when the premier opens up a given restriction, the guidelines that will come will be within what we prepared for. So far, that's worked really well. That's worked a charm. And so that's our commitment to our residents, is that we will be ready, steady, and able to get you moving again.
It's been a struggle for many restaurants to stay afloat while being forced to shut their doors to sit-in customers during the pandemic, but Phase 2 will allow outdoor dining to resume. Melissa Candelaria reports.
As Halton gets ready for Stage 2 on Friday, Eddio's Poorhouse and Kitchen in Milton is working hard to reopen. Owner Eddie Oliveira says they're ready.
We're actually going back to our original branding with food, our menu at full capacity. It's going to be hectic. The next few days we are basically finally doing those touches that we needed to do to get the relaunch. As excited as we are about the relaunch, it's only at a very small scale. So my understanding is that we're allowed to be able to open our patio. Our patio will be limited to about 50% occupancy. So it's a very small group of people that can come and enjoy Eddio's. We've been able to sort of configure a way to make reservations work for us and for the guests so that they understand our sort of restrictions.
Since they are opened at a limited capacity, Oliveira says they've had to change how they take reservations.
What we have to do really is have our guests call us. We've been overwhelmed with emails and social platforms calling us, on messengers and stuff, and my personal line, and it's just coming from everywhere, and we appreciate the excitement. But we also have to be very sensitive to the fact that this is going to be a different rollout for us. So we have been able to sort of communicate that through our social media platforms. We want to talk to the guests. We want them to understand that there will be guidelines and protocols that we are going to follow to ensure that, under this new norm, that we are meeting every criteria that's necessary to provide our guests with the best experience.
So what does that mean for their other services, and will this opening enable Oliveira to hire back his staff? Oliveira says they're taking things slow.
We're definitely going to maintain the curbside pickup and the delivery. That is definitely something that brought us a new world since we've been in here. So I think it's important to maintain those connections with the community. But it's also launching into Phase 2 is a very minimal scale. Still talking to our staff, we're not really there for everybody yet.
In the meantime, with just days left until opening, Oliveira says he can't wait to get back to a sense of normalcy.
To have our guests sitting on our patio, to see those faces, we've only spoken to them. We've had 2-minute conversations, whether it be on the phone or dropping it off at their porch or picking up in the parking lot. We're able to maintain that connection, but it's really seeing them sitting down again and being proud of what we've done here and ensuring that, the work that we did before has laid a good foundation for us to move forward.
As you can see, Oliveira is super excited to finally be able to talk face-to-face with many returning and new customers, and of course to bring back that intimate, homey feel to his restaurant. Reporting for Halton News, I'm Melissa Candelaria.
It's been a little over 3 months since Halton Police and bylaw partners launched the COVID-19 hotline. Since then, the number of calls have gone down. As restrictions continue to loosen locally, we're wondering what role police will have when dealing with COVID-19 related issues. We spoke with Constable Ryan Anderson this morning, who says they'll continue their current plan.
Our huge priority right now is just if we do get calls, we're responding through education, and everybody's been very receptive to that. One thing I can tell you is our calls to our line are down significantly. I think over the previous week we had about 250 calls over the week, and we were in the low 100s this week. So, I don't want to speak to what's causing that. We've had some nice weather, so I think the loosening of rules, maybe there are less infractions people are seeing, and so we're getting called on a much less, with much less frequency.
With calls to the hotline decreasing, we asked Constable Anderson if there are plans to get rid of the hotline altogether. Anderson says that's not likely anytime soon.
I'd be speculating here, but in the immediate future, there's no plans that I'm aware of to disband that. I think it's something that we're going to need for certainly as long as the emergency orders are in effect, which they are. throughout the province. It's something that we're going to need. Hopefully, at some point when those are lifted, it's a hotline and it's a number we don't need anymore. And any inquiries or follow-ups can just be handled through regular bylaw calls to your municipality or calls to a regular non-emergency police line.
Locally, Goodwill stores and donation centers have reopened for business and with all the appropriate PPE. Donations will be quarantined for 3 days before being sorted and put on the floor. As Nikki Wesley reports, that's not the only thing they're celebrating. Let's take a look.
Tonight would have been Goodwill's 85th anniversary gala. The major milestone would have been recognized, and the annual Achievement Awards celebrated clients' and employers' successes. Instead, President and CEO Kelly Duffin is celebrating their resilience.
This is not the year we anticipated for our 85th. I think maybe what it says about us is resilience, because we have found new ways to serve the community. We've certainly had to pivot in the way that we deliver our employment services, in the way we're reopening our stores and donation centers, and we found a bit of a new mission for our catering division as well, in providing food to people in need in our community at this time. So it definitely has been difficult, but I'm going to go with what it says about us is resilience.
Goodwill's mission is changing lives and strengthening communities through the power of work.
And we know that jobs can change people's lives. It's income for their families. It can break generational cycles of poverty. It gives us all purpose and meaning. And it's funny, through COVID, I think we've also found it builds a sense of community and activity. I think those who were, couldn't work for 9 weeks found it very difficult and have a new appreciation for work.
For an organization that is all about employment, having to lay off 55% of the staff was particularly heartbreaking for Duffin. She's pleased to have been able to call employees back as stores have opened and donations are pouring in.
Our donation center people have been doing, it seems, very little but cleaning their houses. So we're the very happy and grateful recipients of a lot of donations, whether it's clothing or housewares. And that's really important to us as a not-for-profit, because we turn all those donated goods into revenue for our social service mission and help people in our community find work.
Despite having to move their extensive career center supports online due to the pandemic, Goodwill Employment Services continued to help clients find employment. Vice President of Employment Services, Tracy Cunning, shares their success.
In light of COVID, we thought that we wouldn't be able to help as many people. And obviously our business has, reduced somewhat, but actually successfully placed quite a number of people in essential, what was classified as essential services. So airline industry in terms of shipping and logistics cargo, drivers for delivery, because we've all been ordering from Amazon and all the online shopping available. Also with restaurants that we're offering takeout and delivery services. Grocery stores had a huge demand as soon as COVID hit, as well as pharmacies, gas stations, so covering off all the essential services. As Kelly mentioned, we are resilient. We found a lot of new ways to do business and made some great community connections because of COVID. So there is a silver lining, and we're following that silver lining.
Reporting for Halton News, I'm Nikki Wesley.
4 new recipients have been named to receive funding from the Oakville Rotary Relief Fund. They are Savis of Halton and Big Brothers Big Sisters of Halton, who will each receive $3,000. Acclaim Health and the Canadian Mental Health Association of Halton will each receive $4,500. To date, the Oakville Rotary Relief Fund has raised over $45,000 from the Rotary Club of Oakville, Rotary Club of Oakville Trafalgar, Rotary Club of Oakville West, and the Passport South Rotary Club, as well as the general public. If you'd like to donate, you can do so on rotaryoakville.ca, and you'll receive a charitable tax receipt. Justin Trudeau announced today that the CERB will continue to be paid for 8 additional weeks to those who continue to need this support. To determine if you're eligible, you can visit canada.ca and type in Canada Emergency Response Benefit into the search bar. The federal government also announced that the border between Canada and the U.S. will remain closed to non-essential travel until July 21st. Thanks for being with us here on Halton News. We do need to take a short break. We'll be right back with more on what to expect at this year's Oakville Festivals of Film and Art. The 7th annual Oakville Festival of Film and Art, otherwise known as Offa, officially begins tomorrow. Due to COVID-19, this year's event will be virtual, but the plan is for it to return to being a live festival by next year. This year, there are over 30 films that you can enjoy from the comfort of your own couch. Tickets must be purchased for most of the events, but some screenings are free to the public. For more information, I spoke with Offa's Wendy Donnan.
We have 3 short film screenings, different types of screenings. So we opened the festival this year. I'm really excited about our local short film festival, which is all local filmmakers who either live in the area, went to Sheridan, so became a local short filmmaker for a time, or actually are from local communities, Hamilton, Burlington, Mississauga, and there's all kinds of different films in there. We have documentary, we have experimental, we have horror, we have animation, comedy, drama. So all of these different genres in the short film festival, and almost all of the filmmakers are going to be on for the Q&A. So it's really exciting to open the festival on Wednesday, the 17th. We have Shorts for All Sorts, which is the global international festival. It's also got some Canadian films, but that one will be exciting to close the festival because you'll have filmmakers on there from all around the world talking about their work. And it's really interesting to see some of the differences in filmmaking and how filmmakers work their craft in different countries. And then we have the Family Fun Short Festival, which is really interesting. And again, all genres represented, tons of world premieres from Sheridan Animation. So the students from Sheridan Animated Films, we have, I think, 15 short films, all animated. They're just marvelous. And a lot of those are in the Family Fun block, and some are in the other blocks. And really interesting screening as well. We have The Great Disconnect is a Canadian premiere for us. And what I find really interesting about this screening is that in the middle of all this film is about how social media causes us to be isolated. And the irony is that, we are isolated and all we have right now is social media. So it's a really interesting Q&A. The discussion is fascinating around it. The film is excellent. And we have some short films also. One of them is Once Upon a Pandemic, which is about being in isolation. And what do you do when you're stuck at home with your family and you're in the middle of all this? So yeah, lots of really great stuff.
Beautiful sunshine out there again today. Here's a look out at Grindstone Marshes Trail at the Royal Botanical Gardens. 27 degrees as our high Wednesday, full sunshine straight through to the weekend. It's not until Saturday that some clouds will roll back in, and look at those temperatures. It's going to be hot, hot, hot with a very high UV index, so please do protect that skin. We won't see the chance of rain showers until Sunday, and that's only a 40% chance. The Burlington Chamber of Commerce 2020 Business Excellence Awards Gala is coming up in 1 week, and this year there are 21 finalists to celebrate. Burlington's MP Karina Gould has her ticket and is looking forward to this year's virtual experience.
This year, I'm excited to participate once again in the Burlington Chamber of Commerce's Business Excellence Awards. This year is going to be a little different, but I applaud the Chamber for being innovative in these difficult times. The award ceremony is going to take place on June 23rd, and it's going to be virtual, online, fun, interactive, and engaging. I've got my ticket. Don't forget to get yours so that we can all celebrate the many fantastic businesses who are doing terrific work right here in our community.
That will be a virtual gala and a truly one-of-a-kind experience, as tickets include your choice of 3-course meal out of 9 that you can choose from, as well as a curated gift bag and access to the live production, of course. For more information and to get your tickets, please visit burlingtonchamber.com before midnight of Tuesday, June 16th. This week, the Oakville Chamber is hosting a conversation on managing a virtual film festival. Join Chair of the Board Tim Cadigan as he discusses the upcoming Offa Online Film Festival, with those on your screen. To watch it, you can tune in right here on your TV as we go live, or you can watch on the Chamber's Facebook page. North American markets were up today, and here's a look also at how our local companies fared. We'll be right back with news from the Burlington Food Bank. Stay with us. Welcome back to Halton News. I'm Jessica Kading, and up now we have the latest update from the Burlington Food Bank.
This is Robin Bailey, the Executive Director at the Burlington Food Bank, and today we just wanted to let people know that there's a few other items beyond food that we're always in need of, and one of them is just personal hygiene products, whether it be feminine hygiene products or stuff for hair, whether it's shampoo or conditioner, as well as body washes, those types of things. We're always in need of those. We also are always looking for cleaning products that we can pass on to clients. Anything that's going to help them save a little bit and be able to put money towards other expenses within their household is great for us to be able to receive. So if you're out and about trying to figure out what you can do to help out those who are in a little bit more need right now in your community, those are a couple of the things that we could really use. We've also seen a few people starting to come back that we haven't seen in quite a while. So we know that the economy is a little bit tougher, and we know that there are still a lot of people out there who could use our help, who are maybe still trying to run things without having to go and get the help that they need. Realize that we're here for you. It's just a quick email, info@burlingtonfoodbank.ca, just letting us know you have need, and we'll give you a call back. Or you can give us a call, 905-637-2273. Finally, we just want to remind people to wear masks and do everything you can to keep us where we're going right now. Knowing that we're going into stage 2 on Friday is great news, but we want to be able to get to stage 3. So let's make sure that we're doing everything we can to stay safe and making sure that we're not only staying safe for ourselves, but also for those around us.
I'd like to thank you for tuning into Halton News and let you know that we will be live again Wednesday night at 5:30. For more content, please feel free to visit us on our website at yourtv.tv. We're also on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can find us on all of those platforms at YourTV Halton. For Halton News, I'm Jessica Kading, and I thank you for watching.